like if you see a news headline of NIO all of a sudden signs a chip deal with another automaker here in China to sell them chips, that is going to change the whole picture, the whole entire valuation. It's going to be like a chip company now. So that is something you got to really look forward to. Guys, we got so much to talk about in this one video. 3 big, massive news. Of course, the first one, good news, wait times for the ES8 have been shortened by 2 weeks. Most people I'm seeing, they reported that the wait time is shortened by 2 weeks, some even up to 4 weeks. So that's just amazing. That's just very, very good. This could indicate 2 things. The first most likely scenario is the fact that they're ramping up production. And of course, we know that's happening with factory number 3, with the recent hires and everything, and pumping out more cars. So that's the most likely scenario. Scenario number 2, which I don't think is possible, cancellations. Don't think that's happening. All right. So that's very good news. Delivery wait times are shortened. Okay, that's definitely very, very good. People can get their cars sooner. And remember, the more cars they can deliver in Q4, the less they have to subsidize for the tax increase in Q1, which they've promised that they're going to do. So this is going to, first of all, benefit the profitability picture much more dramatically, and also really reduce the impact of margin decrease in Q1. So this is going to be very, very nice. And then news number 2. This is pretty interesting. This is, of course, the fact that CATL and a bunch of other investors invested 266 million RMB into Wuhan Weineng. And if you guys probably know or didn't know, Wuhan Weineng is the company that's that's the center of the lawsuit. All right, the center of NIO's recent lawsuit by GIC. It's the fact that there might be they're recognizing revenue when they shouldn't be, that kind of stuff. But we're not going to talk about that. CATL and a bunch of other guys invested 266 million, and this is more to boost the amount of money that Wuhan Weineng has, the battery asset management company. And of course, Wuhan Weineng, they use that money to, of course, buy the battery from NIO when a customer buys the car with BAS, renting the battery. So this is definitely very good. And you see, things are just going as normal. The lawsuit is not affecting anything. None of the businesses are hindered or affected by this whatsoever. So that's very, very good news. Now for news number 3, which is, of course, the $1 trillion opportunity that is just absolutely fantastic. First, you have to listen to this.
Moment, we are 100% out of China. And so China is 0% of, we went from 95% market share to 0%. And so I can't imagine any policymaker thinking that that's a good idea. That whatever policy we implemented caused America to lose one of the largest markets in the world to 0%.
So Nvidia is pulling out of the market. The AI data center chips it's just completely banned here in China, right? And then also even on consumer grade GPUs, they're also being restricted. Like for example, the latest 4090 and that kind of stuff, consumer stuff, you can't buy those here in China. It's illegal, okay? And that is going to leave a huge vacuum for autonomous driving chips. And who has autonomous driving chips? NIO does, right? And NIO is actually the first company with a 5 nanometer autonomous driving chip actually being produced in the car. They're the first to do it, right? So that's an incredible achievement. And this is, of course, this big vacuum. People want to use Nvidia's chips. They can't anymore. All right. So a lot of these guys, they have to search for alternatives or make their own. So who's making their own? Well, of course, you have Huawei. They have their own stuff. And then you have Xpeng. And then you also have Li Auto, who's trying, but kind of not really seeing success over there. So it seems like they would have to choose between these guys, Huawei or maybe NIO or Xpeng. NIO CEO has repeatedly said that they're open to sell these chips to anybody that's willing to buy them. And it seems like, right now you have the perfect storm, right? Nvidia is forced out of China, and essentially people need their autonomous driving chips. They're going to have to look for a domestic alternative. And no better choice than NIO, right? NIO's chips, absolutely amazing. And it's much cheaper than Nvidia's chips as well. So NIO CEO has said that per car, they save about 20,000 RMB just in chips. RMB, yeah, that's quite a lot, all right, because before, every single NIO vehicle that was made, they had to pay Nvidia 4 times for 4 Orin X chips. And instead, they can just use one of their own. So that is going to save them a lot of money. And of course, for any potential partners, it would also save them a lot of money as well. So there's definitely that to look forward to. So when can we expect this to happen? Well, and you guys might be asking, Mr. P, why is it not happening right now? Why haven't we heard any deals about this? Are you just, trying to hype this up and not really, it doesn't really have any solid footing? Well, the truth of the matter is, and here's the truth, well, I think NIO has to prove themselves first, okay? The chip has tremendous capability, and of course they have their own SkyOS architecture, and it's all self-built, right? No reliance on foreign technology whatsoever, and it's just revolutionary. And of course, independent of Nvidia, which is definitely very nice. But what we're seeing is that in a lot of these third-party autonomous driving sort of tests and that kind of stuff, AEB tests whatsoever, I've done some of the AEB tests in daylight, and they're pretty good, but it seems like it's not as good as like Huawei and those guys here in China. For example, yesterday I just watched this one live stream of them testing out AEB, and with the pedestrian dummy, it was nighttime AEB, and this should be where LiDAR really excels at. But nope, unfortunately, NIO was only able to do, and this is the brand new ES8, by the way, the newest car. NIO was only able to do 40 kilometers per hour to detect that pedestrian at night, whereas the competitors, Stellato, the R7, able to do 110 kilometers per hour and detect the pedestrian and be able to stop. So, NIO has fired the NWM team and sort of they're rebuilding everybody. They're rebuilding it. And so, we're off to a fresh start. But it seems like for people to really adopt and start to use NIO's chips, they have to first see that NIO is the best of the best in terms of autonomous driving and also AEB and that kind of stuff. So, and don't get mad at me because I didn't do those tests. Those were the other guys. And you can go get mad at them for doing those tests. And it is just what it is. It's reality. Don't get salty about reality, okay? So I think once we see some more, like a new version of NWM 2.0, perhaps, then we can actually see some really good results with these AEB performances and autonomous driving, and then perhaps you'll see more adoption amongst the competitors, and they'll probably choose NIO's chips. Okay? I hope they choose NIO's chips. That's going to be very good for shareholders, and that could just, like, if you see a news headline of NIO all of a sudden signs a chip deal with another automaker here in China to sell them chips, that is going to change the whole picture, the whole entire valuation. It's going to be like a chip company now. So that is something you got to really look forward to. All right. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.